Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of Where I Went Wrong. And in this edition of Where I Went Wrong, I'll be doing Where I Went Wrong, UFC Vegas 71, or you can say UFC Fight Night, Pavlovich versus Blaydes. So, yeah, another 500 cards. So this is the third week in a row with 500 cards. Like that. Hey, it's better than falling below 500, but still, like, it's not at all a good look. I don't feel happy at all to say 500. I can say this time there was such a bad card, and if I were like, nah, come on, son, like, let's get back to the 70%. Let's get to the 80. Let's get to the 90. Like, this 500 stuff got to stop. It got to stop dead in this track right here, right now. So, yeah, 500 card went 5-5, and like 5-5-1. I think what the Bobby Green fight was no contest, but so yeah, 5-5. But yeah, let's go to the first L was Francis Marshall versus William Gomes. And in this one, I had Francis Marshall. This is my first L. It was a very close fight. Could have went either way. But it was really, I feel like Gomes won most of the fight. But Marshall, kind of had good moments here and there. And at the end of the fight, strong. So he could have, won based off that factor. Like, had his moments and then ending the fight strong and like probably enough to eke out a round and then enough to win the third round because he did have like a Tyson Bishop, time ran out, or had at least good position and dominated that third round in later half or later quarter, or however you want to say. But as far as like where I went wrong and where I could say I could advance for this one, it's not a whole lot I could really say. Everything hindsight is 2020, so you can't really say this and say that with this one. So it was a close match. It was a split decision. So it's like one of the matches where you can't knock it too bad. This is not a bad L at all. Was it a bad L? People like, oh my gosh, lock confidence. Francis Marshall so good. No, I leaned to Francis Marshall by a slim margin, and he lost by a slim margin overall. But Gomes definitely showed to be the cleaner striker. If I was going to lean to him, like as I was saying in my videos, I was like, if I want to lean to him, I'm gonna need to see more improvement and more confidence in his striking, and we saw that in this fight. And he looked cleaner, sharper. He was able to use his kicks well to control the pace and tone of this fight on the striking department. So good win for Gomes. Like I said, it's not. This is a pick that's you definitely not would classify it. You would definitely not classify as a bad pick. You would not classify as that. But nonetheless, it was not a winning pick. Gomes won, so at the end of the day, it don't really matter too much. But all you can do is look from this one. I think this is just going to end up being an intel fight. If you did lean to Marshall, just like I did, because it seemed like he was the more well-rounded fighter. And, again, he was similarly the more well-rounded fighter. But Gomes was the winning fighter, and he fought the better fight overall. I mean, over the majority of the minutes of this fight, he fought the better fight. And they're going for it. I can see the development of Gomes, depending on how they match him up. His grappling defense is still pretty solid. His offensive grappling is, could use some work a little bit. I mean, in general, a lot of stuff could use a little bit of work, but he's definitely a guy that you could, follow a little bit, look for him to develop and yeah, make those adjustments between rounds. I think Marshall still got a pretty bright future. So both guys got bright futures ahead of them. And, I can see both of them winning their next fights. It just matters, like, again, how they stylistically going to be matched up. Yeah. Yeah. It's from both ends, but hey, it is what it is. Again, two development fighters, close fights, but decision. Can't really try to draw a whole lot from that. It is, played out kind of how I expected in a sense. Like, regardless of how it's going to go, it's going to be a close competitive fight. And then the second fight that I got wrong was Muhammad Usman versus Junior Tafa. I went with Junior Tafa here. And I think, like, to just sum this one up, like, why to make an improvement or adjustment with this one is that Tafa, he coming in, he wasn't this for super phenomenal kickboxers. A lot of people were trying to hype him up to be, and I wasn't gonna even hype him up like that either. But it was kind of just like Muhammad Usman, he don't really have no true background. And he looks pretty stiff on the feet, so he's going to be able to strike on the feet with a guy who still at least has way more experience than him, more fluid, and is still a far more technical striker. Like, Tafa, to me, is, and I feel like no one should consider him a true world-class striker. He has training experience, he has some skills, but he's definitely not a world-class striker. He fought at, pretty high level, or he fought in the high-level organizations, but didn't really fight truly high-level opposition, and didn't really show truly high-level skill set or fight IQ or technique. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, if I was gonna lean to Usman in this one, I was more so leaning like him catching Tafa after he gets tired. And then maybe that could coincide with the fact that Tafa did start to wear down a little bit after, you know, having moments hurting him in the first round. And the Usman was able to wrestle him. And I guess another adjustment I could have made if Usman was able to help Ngannou a little bit, just a little bit. It's not like Usman was the primary reason that Ngannou's wrestling got better and he beat Gon. It was not him. You know, he helped, probably gave some tips and stuff. Like, you know, that could be big and whatnot. But obviously his main coaches were the reason that, you know, his wrestling improved as much as it did. Like, but Usman, you know, he could give you a little nod and stuff and give you a little pointers and stuff. But if Ngannou could make adjustments, I feel like Usman could give his brother good adjustments. And yeah, Kamaru gave his brother Muhammad good technique. I mean, not good technique. He gave him good tips, and I'm pretty sure his coaching staff gave him good tips to deal with Tafa. And yeah, I guess the thing is, he definitely for sure, you know, even though you might say he don't have no true skill set, he was for sure the more well-rounded guy going in there because he at least was going to do something else. You know, Junior Tafa, he was going to come out here and wrestle. He was going to come out here trying to do BJJ. He was going to try to submit nobody. He was just going to throw hands. And the most likely guy to mix it up would be Usman, and he was the one who at least had, you know, Ultimate Fighter experience and stuff, trains alongside one of the greatest fighters of all time. And Tafa, like I said, he just was an overrated striker. That's all. He was an overrated striker. He's young. He's coming in here. And yeah, I guess maybe you could, like I said, it ain't necessarily a super bad pick, but to have picked Tafa, but you know, the writing was on the wall a little bit here that maybe like again, Tafa was just not who people were sizing him up to be in that, but maybe just underestimated the wrestling of Usman. But again, like it's not like Tafa had any showed any well-rounded skill set or was this great fighter or anything. So that's what happens. It leads to a young, inexperienced fighter. They're both inexperienced, to be honest. Like, well, not greatly experienced, but yeah. Usman at least going to have that edge, and he made that adjustment. So yeah, good on him to make the adjustment, and that could definitely extend him further in the heavyweight division. Like the grappling division is pretty terrible right now. If he keeps working on that, he gives himself a chance to have more longevity, have more success weight class. So good for Muhammad Usman. Justin Tafa or Junior Tafa, I said Justin Tafa. Junior Tafa's going to have to work on the grappling defensive for sure. Going to have to work his striking. He had to work on his takedown defense. He got to work on a lot of different things. But hey, if he get one of those striking matchups, they give him one of these guys that's on the downtrend who only strikes and got no chin, he could definitely, you know, power some wins up. But they definitely got to lower his competition level significantly. And Muhammad Usman, this guy keep improving. I saw improvement in his cardio looked pretty good in this fight. He faced adversity. He stayed in there, stay hard. I said stayed in there, stay hard. What is it with these out of context, well, clip worthy cuts? But anyway, yeah. I don't want to talk too much about this. Like I'm just talking in circles, but going for Usman and improving is only going to make him better. You know, the obvious thing to say. Improving only going to make him better. But the fact that he can mix and takedown now, and you know, he has shown the ability to show some good technique for being able to establish that top position, turn people off the cage and flatten them out, and you know, use that big muscle, use that big size to really just blanket people and control them. Like I said, it might not be the prettiest style, but hey, it worked for his brother in points. I'm not saying that's what his brother was primarily about, but you know, you need to win. Hey, now you got more avenues, more ways, and you got your opponent thinking about like, now I don't want to be underneath this big dude. I want to be far away from him. I want to be able to punch from a distance. I want some space. But now you got to react to it. Now he can start to touch them with big power shots. Like I said, he probably never gonna have, he never gonna be the most fluid striker, but now that he can maybe have people worry about the wrestling, it opens up the striking. Even though he don't have the clean striking, it can open up, and he definitely got power. So yeah, mixing up makes him a much more dangerous opponent. And evolving, proving makes him a much more dangerous opponent. So yeah. I can definitely see Muhammad Usman still probably being a dog in the next fight, or still having great value in the next fight, depending on who he matches up with. And could definitely be somebody you could catch a ticket on, but it depends on who he matches up with. Junior Tafa, I feel like people are still gonna size him up, but I feel like if he don't go in with a striker or a guy who has like I don't know, probably if you don't go in there with a striker, I feel like it'd probably be good money to pick against Junior Tafa in his next one. Now to the next one, we had the third fight. Yeah, third fight, we had Rick Glenn versus Christos Diagos, and I went Rick Glenn here. This is my third L. And yeah, with this one, It was a lot of weird fights, to be honest. I knew this fight was really a toss-up, to be honest, like, especially looking into it further, but I still like, let me just go with my initial confidence upon looking at the fight before I looked into it. I'm like, let me just stick with high confidence. Wriggling. So I'm gonna own the fact that it was high confidence. With high confidence wriggling. I acknowledge that the fact that it was much closer than I was thinking initially, but I'm gonna ride with the dude and say still stick high confidence with wriggling. But the way that fight ended up, it should have been like low confidence or high, like max confidence, Christos Diagos as far as it looked. But in hindsight, is 100, 2020, or whatever the case would be. But yeah, but I can't really speculate that. Oh my gosh, it was like clearly out that this was going to happen. Nah, Diagos has never really, as far as his UFC career, I know what he's been doing in the gym. The man, he got a good physique. Like he's a pretty strong dude, but probably got a decent little bit of pop. But he never been like, oh my God, that guy hit so hard, he knocks people out, he drops people every fight, or he got such heavy hands. Like I said, that's probably maybe in the gym people know that. But as far as in the cage, I ain't really seen that out of him. If anything, probably more so looking like a decision fighter as far as in the UFC. That's what more so look like. And yeah, he ain't been looking all that phenomenal. And I think it was the case that Rick Glenn came in, he looked flatter, he looked stiff. So I think some time off, he got flat a bit, got rusty. And I just think Diagos was sharper on it. Yeah, so I feel like the way this fight could have went for like, it feel like on paper it more so leaned to overs and decision here than a first round stoppage. But nonetheless, I ain't gonna get too caught up in like, oh my gosh, Diagos is a heavy hitter now. The real thing to look at again with Diagos is always, if this man is going in with a better grappler, he going in there with a Gilbert Burns, he going in there with a Thiago Moises, he going in there with an Arman Siakarin, or somebody get a Makachev or something. Or he, that next great wrestler, grappler, striker, that full round of threat, but probably a high level BJJ expert or like a D1 wrestling phenom, something like that. That's who you're gonna pick against Diagos with a lot of confidence. Like, look at his resume. Every single time he goes in there with them, he loses. Like, every single time he loses. So that's where you're gonna find your angle there. It's not to get caught up in Diagos. Oh my gosh, he looked so good in this performance. I think Diagos looked good, but I think also it was a combination of Rick Glenn looking bad. So, and Rick Glenn looked okay in his last fight. No, he looked good in his last fight, to be honest. Also, another thing about Rick Glenn, he was a slow starter, but then again, Diagos didn't kill us, so it's not like, oh, he a slow starter, so Diagos is a killer. He a first round phenom, like he's Vitor Belfort in his prime, or Vitor Belfort on TRT. Like, he's not that. He's not going to be that first round killer versus a guy who's a slow starter. He's not heavy handed fighter. So on paper, it really wasn't there. Like, just judging from the experience. So yeah, it is what it is. That's all I'm saying. It is what it is. But I'm heavily probably going to pick against both guys in the next outing. If Rick Glenn looking that stiff and looking that flat, going to likely pick against him. But again, it could easily be a case of where Rick Glenn come out in the next fight. He like, I was just flat that time and looking decent. And it's probably another case where Rick Glenn has a slow start and comes on strong later. But yeah, I'm not too sure about Rick Glenn. Like, I feel like it's one of those cases where he's gonna seesaw. It could easily be a case he seesaw. Like, he have a trash performance, they come down, comes back, and next fight have a decent rebound. But maybe I'll leave him alone. Still got predicted, but I'm like, I don't know. Better might leave you alone for that next fight. Diagos, I already know what fight he wins, what fight he loses. For the most part, this was kind of a little bit of an outlier, but I know what he wins and what he loses. But in next fight, he probably if he go in with a grapple, I know for sure a lot of confidence he's gonna lose. Like a phenomenal grappler. Not a guy that like he grapples, he's okay, he's all right. Yeah, probably not. That's gonna leave it alone. But go to it for again, the guy's pretty on a different level like that, wrestling, grappling. Lock the other guy in against Diagos every single time. Loses, that's free money. So yeah, that's the third L. Fourth L was Brad Tavares versus Bruno Silva. I ain't gonna talk too much about this one. And this was a fight, was one of those seesaw fights. Like, Bruno Silva had a trash performance last fight, he could bounce back. And Brad Tavares been looking okay. He has been a case where he hadn't been knocked out in several years. No, he was looking okay. But he saw today, got with a questionable chin, and he was going up with a guy with heavy hand like Bruno Silva, and Bruno Silva bounced back. He was able to touch him with some power, and Tavares' chin couldn't hold up. Was that surprising at all? No, it was not surprising at all. Bruno Silva has heavy hands. He has fought at a pretty high level for many years across different organizations, But he was able to find the chin of Brad Tavares, and when Brad Tavares met that power, His chin didn't hold up. And Bruno Silva got a win. But I guess, leaning forward, Brandon Tavares probably got to be questionable about picking him when he going in with a guy with very heavy hands. And I don't think you really ever really beat someone with truly heavy hands, actually decent technique. You can say, oh, Omari Agbado's technique on the feet is sloppy. And he don't really got the heaviest. I mean, he does with a lot of force, but he ain't really got no true power. It's like there's a lot of force and almost zero technique. And yeah, that's about it for that one. But matter of fact, I feel like if he truly goes in with a guy that good experience or just good power, got to lean against Tavares. I just thought we were gonna get Bruno Silva at a discount bargain value, like like you don't get a bargain brand win over Bruno Silva. Like he's a layaway value. Yeah, layaway value, but he clearly said, I had a bad performance last fight, but this ain't the end of the road for me. But yeah. I don't know. I think more so the focus for me on this one is right now is gonna be Brad Tavares. Bruno Silva, it's gonna depend on who he matches up with. I feel, just giving off his resume and his experience, they probably gonna easily could jump him up a whole lot further and maybe not try to keep a middle or go down. At a high level, I feel like he's gonna lose pretty much every one fight at that level. Like they go in and doing with Marvin Vettori, doing with these other guys, are trying to match up with who's that guy who just lost to Marvin Vettori? I forget his name right now. The Georgian dude. I feel like guys like that gonna be able to take him to the ground and submit him or something. But again, Bruno Silva's still very much a live grenade out there. Like the man still got power. That power ain't going nowhere. But yeah, let's jump to the final fight. We had Sergey Pavlovich versus Curtis Blaydes. And let me just not even talk about the fight itself too much, but initially. But yeah, Blaydes is definitely claiming that spot. There's a guy that he's good, like he's talented, but are you ever gonna get a title shot? He's kind of been that guy, like this guy not gonna get a title shot. Like he gonna lose every single time he gets a big fight. Lose every time he gets some momentum, he gonna lose every single time. He's not gonna get that title eliminator. He's not gonna win that title eliminator, I mean. He's not gonna win that title eliminator. But yeah, that's really all about Blaydes. It looked very disappointing. Maybe gotta go to Bellator. I feel like he can win a belt there at Bellator or ONE FC or something, or Risen needs a heavyweight champion. Maybe win a belt there. But in UFC, I feel like his days are numbered. Like you already lost. You lost to everybody. You lost to Curtis. You lost to Derek Lewis. I guess maybe the only other angle right now is Cyril Gahn look bad against John Jones, so let me wrestle him. Let me get him. But I feel like he's just a detriment to the organization at this point. He lost all these fights. So I'd rather see Ngannou. Like I'd rather see Cyril Gahn go out there and find a way back to do a title shot than see him lose to Curtis Blaydes, to be honest. I feel if they don't give him that matchup, but they might do that. They might do a test to say, can Cyril Gahn actually beat a wrestler? Let's give him the best wrestler in the division or the best wrestler in the division. And yeah, Sergey Pavlovich looked good nonetheless. He looked good. He destroyed Blaydes. Blaydes looked good. Blaydes looked good initially. He touched Pavlovich more than he's been touched in years. Like he was able to touch some good shots, but eventually Pavlovich was able to walk him down, land some clean counters on him, hurt him, and then be able to set him up, throw a feint, catch him with the uppercut, hurt him, and then just put him out of there. So good win for Sergey Pavlovich. He was able to defend with like one or two of Blaydes takedowns. Blaydes didn't really go for a whole lot of takedowns. So that's kind of a bad sign on Blaydes' side that this guy had a lot of heat coming in early. And you didn't try to clinch him up like a lot. You didn't try to go for too many takedowns. Like you went for two takedowns maximum. Really looked like one takedown max. One true takedown 10 max. But he's mostly struck with Pavlovich. And for a little bit of time they were striking, he had some decent success. But ultimately, again, what is that success when you got stopped? Like it don't really mean a whole lot. So he got stopped. Didn't fight the best game plan, but nonetheless, Pavlovich won, and he defended the takedowns that were attempted on him and was able to get Blaydes out of it in the first round. So again, but yeah, as far as that's about all. I ain't gonna drag it too much. Yeah, Pavlovich should get the next title shot, in my opinion, over Stipe, or again be the guy that's going to be. I mean, he should not even be an alternate. He should get a true title fight. He shouldn't even look to jump in there on short notice. Let some other guy jump in there on short notice. Like, if it's fight night, you know, like a day before the fight, they weigh in on the scales. Like he should even like, oh, I'm gonna make the weight in this weight, and hopefully Stipe fall out, or this guy falls out, or like John Jones fall out something. He should actually get his own true title shot, because this fight more than earned him the spot to get a true title shot, and there's no need for him to take anything less. If anything, he should jump over Stipe, but it is what it is. You know, that's the name of the game, and he already said, I'm willing to just wait instead of trying to just trying to fight other people and stuff. Like, he already earned his title shot, and he earned a real title shot. But I really say what less I can learn from this fight. Well, one thing is Blaydes seems to choke at every single contender fight, or like every single title eliminator. Like every single time he chokes in those fights. Another thing for Blaydes is somebody mentioned he struggles with power punches, and without a doubt, Sergey Pavlovich is a power puncher. Especially, like, you know, that's pretty clear to say. So, and Pavlovich, not like he has horrendous takedown defense. I think another thing, it seems like most stuff just leaning to Blaydes, at least for me, is that Blaydes still doesn't really mix up a lot of his takedowns. He's got like really like one takedown. He got the basic default takedown, but you know, he's been pretty good at that with most people, like able to take down with just the default takedown. But like, he's strong, he has decent timing of it, but it can be predictable. You're just going for the same takedown. You're not going for no single, you're not going for no low single. You're not trying to work to no body lock. That would be very smart from, like, you kind of avoid, I don't know, running to knees, running to uppercuts. And again, most guys expecting you to go for the same exact takedown, and that's all you seemingly do. Like, you're supposed to be such a good wrestler, but you only got one takedown, like one takedown. That's why I keep saying Curtis. That's why Derek Lewis was able to catch you with uppercut. You got one takedown. Like, you all this experience in wrestling, all the skill, but you got like one takedown. Like, you gotta mix up. Like, where's the body locks, where's the suplexes, where the doubles, where's the inside trips, where's the outside trip? Like, where's all these takedowns? Those some wild, like, do a fireman's carry or something. Like, where's the other takedown? You got like one takedown. Like I said, you might be big and powerful, and you got good time on takedown, good decent technique with the takedown, good strength. But when no matter how good you are, unless you just so phenomenal with it, your time is just so impeccable, which is not for him. It's good, but it ain't impeccable. People will be able to read and respond to a standard takedown attempt, like nothing different. Like, you gotta be able to mix it. You gotta do something with it. Run the feet. Matter of fact, that'd be another good thing. Why not run the feet? He go for takedown, time well, but he not running the feet. That would do Curtis Blaydes phenomenally if he ran the feet with his takedowns. So, phenomenally, but he don't. But yeah, Sergey Pavlovich looks like a beast, looks like a world beater. I'm definitely excited to see him fight Stipe, fight Jones, but most importantly, fight for a title shot. So, win or lose, five of those guys, fight the winner of that fight, or one of those guys fall out, fight them for a vacant title, interim title, whatever it may be. But Pavlovich has continued to run through his opponents, and now let's see if he actually finally gets challenged, and it finally gets extended out around. I think John Jones for sure can do that. Stipe at this moment, I feel like he probably get starched. He probably be another person who gets starched in the first round at this point. But yeah, nonetheless, looking forward to his future, and I'm excited for the results. I mean, excited for the future matchups. And that's the video. Went 5-5, 500. Terrible, but just gonna keep trying to get back to it and keep trying to make adjustments and just predict as best I can, take the best intel as I can, and approach the fights as best as I can. But yeah, I ain't saying I got super high confidence fight card next week, but I'm gonna find my week. Like, my 2 weeks in time will come, and I will be back streaking again, getting the 70%, 80%, 90%. Look at chasing that 100%. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back with more videos. Peace.